Big Data and the Little Big Bang, Redefining Knowledge in the Digital Age. Imagine the world's entire stored knowledge, from the earliest cave paintings to modern social media posts, compressing into an explosion of data so vast it redefines how we understand reality. Since the dawn of writing, data accumulation has grown exponentially, yet, in just a few years, the amount of information generated per day dwarfs all previous records. For example, while only 180 exabytes of data were collected before 2006, by 2011 that number skyrocketed to 1,600 exabytes, and every 2 days in 2011, we produced as much data as the entire recorded history up to that point. This relentless surge prompts us to rethink what really characterizes big data. Is it just size, speed, or complexity? Or does it represent a fundamentally new way we produce, interpret, and trust knowledge? Despite its significance, scholarly debates about the epistemological implications of big data remain surprisingly scarce. Less than 1% of research papers directly engage with the foundational questions of how big data alters our understanding of truth and certainty. As a result, many embrace the idea of big data as a new scientific revolution, yet few have articulated a clear, shared definition or scrutinized its underlying epistemology. Is big data truly a radical break from traditional inquiry, turning sciences into correlations, dissolving causality, and empowering algorithms as autonomous truth speakers? Or is it an evolutionary shift, building upon centuries of data collection and analysis, merely amplified by technological advances? This article delves deep into these questions, exploring how size alone is an insufficient marker. Instead, big data is inherently about relational changes, how we collect, store, analyze, and ultimately interpret data within shifting power dynamics, shifting from humans as sole knowledge producers to complex networks where algorithms and legal frameworks shape what counts as trustworthy knowledge. We examine the myths of neutrality. Are digital traces truly raw and objective? And challenge the idea that having more data equates to having the whole picture. History shows us that overload has always existed, from ancient scribes to the printing revolution, yet what makes today's data overload different? Perhaps it's not just volume but velocity, variety, and the way our perceptions and technologies make us feel overwhelmed. The prevailing narrative suggests that big data speak for themselves, an autonomous voice revealing universal laws or unearthing causal truths. But in reality, data need interpretation, and interpretation is always human, biased and context-dependent. The notion that algorithms are neutral, infinite, and objective is fragile, designed by humans, embedded within capitalist markets, and subject to biases and volatility. Moreover, the idea that big datasets are complete and exhaustive ignores the social, ethical, and practical limits of data collection, sampling biases, altered online behaviors, and the unreliability of digital memory. As big data become the backbone of science and policy, a critical reflection is overdue. Are we listening to data or to the echo chambers shaped by who controls them? Ultimately, this discussion reveals that big data, far from overthrowing old epistemologies, challenge us to revisit and refine our standards, moving from a quest for raw truth to understanding complex networks of power, interpretation, and relationality. The so-called revolution is better viewed as an ongoing evolution, an extension of past practices, heightened and transformed by technological and social forces. Recognizing this helps us avoid both hype and complacency, urging scientists, policymakers, and society to build transparent, ethical frameworks in this new era where data forge the contours of knowledge and power.